Hi everyone, it's KnifeFighter22 here. I hope you guys are all well, and welcome to this very exciting game which I'm going to show you today, played by me, rated 1233, and McHunty, rated 1237. So pretty even match, not much in the rating points. And the interesting thing about this match was, it was a Sicilian Najdorf match, very standard stuff. I don't usually go for the standard stuff, but he was playing into a Najdorf line, so I thought, why not? And I think I checkmated him in 19 moves. It was a very nice sort of opening kingside checkmate. I just thought I would share it with you because it's a very beautiful game. Okay, so as I said, we start off with the Najdorf. We have Sicilian. I go knight f3. Nowadays I prefer f4, but I went for knight f3. d6, d4, c takes, knight f6, knight c3. This is probably one of the most common games in chess. And he plays a6. So a very common position, nothing out of the ordinary yet. Pretty good for black as well. I'll actually just post a link here because I did a good tutorial on the Sicilian Najdorf, how to play it from the black perspective. And from here I go for the old variation just because I think it gives you the most scope. I think bishop to e3 is okay, but bishop g5 is really aggressive, and the king side is where white's meant to be attacking on the black king, as he's going to be castling over here. So I think bishop to g5 really attacks the king side a lot more, and then I can play f4 as well without blocking in the bishop. He plays e6. This is pretty standard stuff. He doesn't want doubled up pawns if I take the knight because he won't be able to castle, and then he'll have that open g-file. So yeah, now I go ahead with my plan, pawn up to f4, just really starting to attack on the king side. Knight to c6, bishop to e2, just developing the bishop. I didn't really know where I could put my bishop. If I played bishop d3, I'd lose the knight, as the queen is the only defender. Bishop c4, it's sort of pointing at his solid pawn chain, and obviously bishop to b5 is out of the question for now. So bishop to e2 is the only way I could go. I'm not really showing my hand. I mean, some of you may know I really love the king's gambit positions where you've got the rook on the open f-file. So I'm not showing him where I'm going to castle, especially after bishop e7. He's definitely going to castle on the king side now, but I play queen to d3, and he really doesn't know where I'm going to castle. And this is an advantage for me because I can just go ahead and attack on the king side now because I know he's going to castle there. There's no way he's going to be able to castle over here. If he did, he would get slaughtered pretty quickly. But he doesn't know where I'm going to castle. Both options are pretty feasible for me at the moment. He plays queen to c7, just pretty standard move really. Defends the knight and prevents doubled up pawns, which is probably why I played it. But now I play f5. This was an idea which Tal used to do a lot, and I guess this is what inspired me to go for such a standard variation. I've been watching some brilliant games with Fischer, with Tal, with Kasparov and Karpov, and all these sort of lovely Sicilian Najdorf openings. So f5 really breaks open the position, and you'll notice he hasn't even castled yet. I'm not going to give him the time to castle. Favorite tactic of Tal, to not give the opponent the time to castle and attack before they do. Knight into e5, it's alright, it trades, it forces my queen to move, but I now move my queen over to the king side, and as you can see, it's pointing at the g7 square, which is very, very key. Say if he castled now, you can play bishop h6, and the bishop's pinned, and it's threatening a mate. So that wouldn't be very good for him, so I'm preventing him from castling at the minute. He plays knight to h5, I guess just to trade off some pieces. I know this was a blunder, it's blitz chess, blunders happen a lot. So bishop takes, and then bishop takes, and queen takes. So he's traded off some pieces from the king side, but now what I need to focus on is getting these pieces over. So now it's safe for him to castle because he's moved my bishop out of the way. So we can get castled now, and to be honest, I just do the same thing. I don't know if it was really a good idea, but I choose to castle queenside in this position. I know I don't get the advantage of the rook, but I think with this pawn supported by these queens and these bishops attacking his king, I think I'll be okay. So e takes f5. I don't think this move is very good because it helps my knight to come right into the action, and this is where really he makes his mistake. He plays g6. And there is a beautiful checkmate which I found here. You may think, oh, the knight and bishop are forked, but obviously the pawn is pinned to the king. Obviously it can't move because the queen will be checking the king. So I played knight h6 check, king to g7, and then the knight goes back to f5 check, pawn is still pinned. and then he moved his queen into the corner. I can now play my queen to f6 because the g pawn is no longer there. Queen to f6 check. The king must go across to g8, and knight h6 is checkmate. Okay, so that was a very beautiful Sicilian Najdorf chess game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please subscribe. I wish you good luck with your chess, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.